What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be all about the muzzle. What is the muzzle for? What kind of muzzle is best for your dog? How to train your dog to wear the muzzle comfortably with no conflict, and what size of muzzle you should get. Without further ado, let's get into it. So let's first get an understanding of what a muzzle is. There's three main types of muzzles. There's your mesh muzzles, there's your basket muzzles, and there's your agitation muzzles. Depending on what kind of dog and what situation you have, it depends on what type of muzzle you want. So a mesh muzzle is for vet clinics or grooming appointments to prevent the dog from opening their mouth at all. Basket muzzles are more of like your daily use muzzles or training muzzles, so they allow the dog to open their mouth and pant while still giving you that same protection from biting. An agitation muzzle is what people would use in protection. So these muzzles are used to actually, the dog is actually able to hit things because there's a metal plate in front of it. So when they want to send their dog on a suspect like police canines and they don't want to actually injure the person or bite the person, they can use the muzzle and the metal piece to disorient them. So let's talk about actually training our dogs to properly wear the muzzle and not fight it. So the best thing to do is to train your muzzle with food, right? So every time they give any type of interest in your muzzle, you mark it with your reward marker and you give them a reward, right? So what I'll do is I'll come up, I'll put my muzzle right here, come, muzzle, right there. Yes, right? So whenever our dog gives us any type of interest in the muzzle and they put their face in it, we give our terminal marker, our clicker, our YES, and then we give them a reward. So what this is doing is showing them that the muzzle isn't something to argue with, it's your payday. So all you got to do is put your face in here and food is going to come out, right? Treats are going to come out, rewards are going to come out, food is going to come out, right? So one more time, muzzle, face in, yes, mark it, reward it. That's all we're doing for the first step. Then our second step is that we start to bring around our straps. So like I'll go the same way. Dog puts their face in it, I'll mess with a strap. Just mess with it. So we're not just kind of like wrestling them. We're just kind of messing with the strap to get them more comfortable with that going around the back of their head, because all of this is weird to a dog, right? And it's gonna be an issue because dogs' mouths are one of their best defense systems. So what we're doing is we're getting rid of any of their defense system, right? So back to it, come. So muzzle, good. Then we'll put our strap around. We're kind of just messing with it, right? Kind of jiggle with it, take it off, yes, mark, reward. And then what we can also do, if we can start building duration and just putting our dog's face to the muzzle. So muzzle, good. Just hold it there for a couple seconds. Yes, take it off. These are two things that we will start with after we have our dog pushing our faces into the muzzle. Muzzle, hold it, good. Reassurance marker. We'll start to mess with our straps. Boom, boom, boom. No fighting, no scratching. Take it off, yes. Just letting our dog know that once the muzzle is on their face does not mean they're trapped in it. It just means they just need to relax, chill. Then we go to muzzle, put it all the way on. So they put their face in. We strap it properly. We clip it. This is for our first time dogs, right? Once we clip it, we let it go. Unclip it, take it off. Yes. Right? Because now it's on there. So we don't want our dog to think that, oh my God, what's happening now? I can't open my mouth all the way. If we measured our dog's face properly and we got the proper muzzle, our dog should still be able to pant, right? So they still should be able to open their mouth. So a quick tip is that when we put our dog's face all the way in the muzzle and we clip it, we want to move. When we put our dog's face all the way into the muzzle and we clip it, we want to start feeding them through the muzzle. If we have a basket muzzle, we can feed them through the muzzle so that they know that when the muzzle's on, you can still be rewarded. That's a quick tip for you. So again, let me just show you. Muzzle, come, muzzle. He goes in, I put it on, I clip it, and now he has it on. I can feed him through it, right? So now it's like, even though it's on, this is not a bad thing, right? And I can still take it off if we're still training. Yes, mark it, reward it. A lot of mistakes that I see people have, a lot of issues that I see people have when they're trying to teach their dog a muzzle and they didn't do it the way of like the food. is that they end up using a lot of pressure. So they end up making a lot of conflict between you and your dog, then you and your muzzle. Also, people will train their dog to use a muzzle only when they're in the vet clinic, or only when they're going to get their nails trimmed, or only when they're going to get a haircut at the groomer. We don't want to give our dog a negative assortment or thought that anytime that this comes on, something is going to happen to me. So we want our dog to be more used to this having being on in different environments. So if we're taking our dog to the park, put the muzzle on them, take a couple steps, take it off of them, right? If we're just hanging out in the house, your dog is on place, put the muzzle on them, let them chill on the place for a couple of seconds, couple minutes, take it off of them. Just so it'll just be like a putting on a t-shirt. That's how we want all of our equipment to be, is that we want our dog to realize that anything that I put on you doesn't necessarily mean that something else is coming. Same thing with our correction collars or our e-collars. They shouldn't think that a problem is going to happen when we put these things on, right? So again, we need to make sure that our dogs understand that when the muzzle comes out, it's time to eat, it's time to have fun. Even play with your dog when they're in the muzzle. So it's funner to do stuff like that because now they have to figure out how to maneuver. We want our dogs to be able to move with the muzzle on as well. Talking about how to measure our dog properly for a muzzle. So where we're going to take our measurements is from right here. Number one, we're going to start right here. It's from the base of the nose to the back of the skull. Number two is going to be around the neck, right where you would have some type of prong collar, where you would put your e-collar, where you put your fur saver. Number three will be around the snout. We want to measure both when the mouth is open and when the mouth is closed so that our dog will be comfortable when panting in our muzzle. Number four, we're going to go from the base, the end of the nose to right under the eyes, because we don't want our muzzle to push into our dog's eyes if they ever push their muzzle into something. And our last one will be from the bottom of the jaw all the way to the neck, because that's going to be the whole length of our muzzle.